Well, hello everyone. It is that time of the week again. Whether you have been here before or you're new here, welcome back to the Megan Moose channel. Every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we do a live stream on the channel here talking about some type of Disney topic, theme park topic, some way to help you with your theme park adventures and any travels that you and your families have. So I'm very excited to have you here tonight for our weekly live stream. Very excited to chat with you guys. And thank you if you're here on the live stream. Thanks for spending a portion of your evening with us. And if you're here on the replay, thank you for being here as well. And consider joining us in future streams. But tonight I'm excited because as I've been looking at the wait times in the parks, we're going to be talking about Disney World tonight, looking at the current state of Disney World and just things that are going on down there. We are coming into peak spring break season, and whether you are going to Disney World for spring break or maybe you're visiting during another busy time down at Disney World, all of these tips will be very helpful, and I want to share with you. And I didn't even get my little banner up. Tonight, I want to share with you guys 5 Disney World spring break tips to help you if you are planning on going to Disney World during spring break. And like I said, these are helpful too if you're going during a holiday like Christmas, Thanksgiving, any holiday weekend that there may be. These tips are going to help you if you're deciding to go down to Disney World during those times. So I'm excited to chat with you guys tonight. Welcome back. And as usual, we're going to say hi to everyone before we get on into the stream. So I want to say hi to the Doofs. Hello, welcome. How are you doing? And also, the Doofs just got back from Disney World. So Doofs, let us know what you thought of wait times and how things were when you guys were down there. But glad you got the pin also. I was about to message you guys about that. Let's see. Oh, sorry to hear about allergies. Yes. Been terrible. Best out of 3 days. Oh, but it's Wednesday. Yes. Gotcha. I'm happy to have you here, of course. And I'm sorry to hear about your allergies. That's one thing I'm very thankful for. I do not have bad allergies. I'm very blessed about it, but I do know a lot of people that have bad allergies. My boyfriend gets bad allergies too. So, but sorry to hear about that. I hope you start feeling a little bit better. Hey, Kitty Kathy, how are you doing? Welcome. Thank you for being here. Stay away go after spring break. Yes, I know that that's what a lot of people tend to say whenever it comes to when to go to Disney World. People tend to say avoid the spring break season, but if this is the time that you're deciding to go, of course, there's still ways that you can have a great trip. And that's what I want to help you with tonight is just some tips to help you if you're going down or any other busy season that you are going down to Disney World. So let's see. So Doofs were just down at Disney World. Let's see what they have to say. Wait times were average, rode everything except Seven Dwarfs at Magic Kingdom, and no need for lightning lanes. Gotcha. That's perfect. So glad you guys could go down and everything seemed to be good down at the parks. You're allergic to work, Kitty Kathy. I love that. Yes. Yes, I feel that. Depends on the days, but I totally get that. So, but yeah, we've also got down at Disney World. Maybe next week we might have to do a theme park news stream because we've had a lot of things come out about the new Tiana ride. Tron is getting ready to open up. Things are starting to really pick up down at Disney World. So next week we might have to do a theme park news, and we've also got some fun trips planned coming up here that I'm excited to share with you guys. So lots more to come here on the channel and also just theme park wise, but we'll go ahead and get on into the tips for tonight. Thank you guys for being here. So the first thing that we're going to talk about, of course, whenever it comes to busy seasons at Disney World, we're going to talk about preparing for lines. So, of course, whenever you go to Disney World during some of the more busy season, especially spring break, the crowds are definitely there's a lot more crowds than usual, and that can, lead to crowds getting into the park, waiting for lines, waiting to get food. So one thing that I always do tell people is make sure you bring your patient pants whenever you go to Disney World during spring break, and just know ahead of time going into it that the parks are going to feel a little more crowded, lines are going to be a lot longer, but there's still ways that you can have a good time on your vacation. If you are going to Disney World and you plan on staying at a Disney World resort, or if you're staying at an official Disney World resort that has access to early entry, I highly recommend taking advantage of that early entry so that way you can get in and take advantage of some of the more popular attractions before the lines get long later on in the day. So early in the morning, that's probably a good time to go and get some of the more popular attractions out of the way before the wait times get longer towards the late or end of the day. Also, the end of the day is also a good time to go and check out some popular attractions, or during fireworks, whenever, a lot of people are going to be watching fireworks, so maybe wait times might be a little bit lower. So if you're wanting to do rides, definitely look ahead of time at, if you've never been to Disney World, look and see what some of the rides that you want to do are, what some of the most popular attractions and rides are, and try to hit those at the beginning of the day. When we were down at Disney World a couple of weeks ago, we went during a Run Disney weekend, which is a very popular and busy weekend as well. And we had access to the early entry period to go in and get early entry to some of the rides. And I found that that was very, very helpful. At Animal Kingdom, I got to do both of the Pandora rides, got to get those out of the way before they got super long during the day. So that is a very helpful thing. But also, if you don't have access to the early entry, still make sure to go during rope drop and get into the park whenever it is officially opening, because lines will still be a lot lower than they will be later on in the day. And I like this too, because even though you may not want to get up early, it might be your vacation or your break from work or school or whatever it might be. But it is nice. What I found to do was to go for the early entry or for rope drop, and then come back to your hotel in the middle of the day for like a midday break or a little pool time or just a relaxing period. That is something that you can do as well, kind of whenever it comes to planning out your days in the park. So ultimately, make sure that you are prepared for lines, knowing ahead of time that there are going to be more crowds. I do have some more tips as far as helping with lines and things as far as that goes in some of these other tips, but obviously spring break will attract some crowds. Just wanted to make sure that you were aware of that as far as spring break at Disney goes. But let me see what you guys have to say. Uh, okay, Doof. So what are you saying? May have to discuss some fake news about Tron since we've both written it. So, well, I'm interested to see what you guys had to say about it, Deuce. I know we chatted briefly about it, but I'm still interested to see what you guys thought. Yeah, Kitty Cathy, I was, as you guys have seen before, or maybe not, I love creeping on the Disney World wait times. And so I have been keeping an eye on what things are looking like. I have a friend that's down there, and she said that it is starting to feel busy. And I think that it's just coming into like peak spring break season. So yeah, it can get pretty busy down there. But yes, bring your patient pants for sure. Oh, awesome. Hey there, Danny, how are you doing? Welcome. Thank you for being here. And you're going to Disney next week. That's awesome. So you're going, are you going for spring break, or maybe just a break from work, or just a vacation? That's awesome. I hope these tips are able to help you. So thank you for being here. All right. So we talked about, of course, preparing for lines. The next thing I want to share with you, you guys know, if you've been here before, I talk about this all the time. But the one thing that I really love about Disney World is they have their own app that you can take advantage of. And this is the My Disney Experience app. I highly recommend, if you're going to Disney World, have this app downloaded on your phone ahead of time. Go ahead, create an account, get logged in and everything, and familiarize yourself with the app, because there's a ton of tools on the app that can help you during your vacation. If you've been here before, as I mentioned before, I love creeping on the Disney World wait times. There is a map on the app that shows you all of the wait times for all of the attractions. It also tells you some of the times that fireworks will be happening, when parades will be happening, so it can help with your park day planning as far as that goes. And there's also things that you can do on there as far as ordering food, so you can mobile order at some of the quick service restaurants. You can make reservations for dining restaurants, which is another thing that you're going to want to do. Places can book up very quickly as far as reservations for dining goes at restaurants. So having a reservation ahead of time is very beneficial. So that way you can eat somewhere and you have a place to eat, because there's nothing worse than being hangry at Disney World. So get your reservations made. Also make your park reservations. I know everybody probably knows about Disney World park reservations at this point, because we've been doing them for a while now. But in case you're new to Disney World, whenever you go to the Disney parks, you have to have a reservation for the park that you want to go to attached to your Disney World ticket. So make sure you make these reservations during peak times like spring break, the reservations can book up for some of the parks. So if you want to go to Magic Kingdom, make sure you have a reservation made for that park. So that way you absolutely can get into the park and you don't have to worry about not being able to get in there. So I love having the My Disney Experience app. Very, very helpful. I love it mainly for wait times, but it is super helpful for mobile ordering. If you're wanting to eat in the parks, it can help you to avoid lines as far as going and purchasing food. It can just help with time management. And then another thing is you can actually mobile checkout at some of the stores if you're planning on doing some shopping. So at mainly the more major, the bigger stores that are in the parks or where you can do the mobile checkout. There is a place at Disney Springs too that you can mobile checkout at. But I love doing that as well because there can be a lot of lines when going to purchase some souvenirs or things in the Disney parks. And to avoid that, you can just do it all through the app. Another thing that I will share with you too is whenever you create an account, go ahead and already put a payment method in the actual app. Whenever you go to do the mobile ordering and the mobile checkout, and I think with making dining reservations as well, it is nice to just have a form of payment in there. So that way you can just go ahead, purchase food, and you don't have to fumble around and worry about it whenever you go to actually use the app and check out as far as that goes. So love the My Disney Experience app. If you have any questions about it, let me know for sure. But it is a super handy tool as far as going to Disney World in general, but definitely during spring break, it can help you with some time management things. And it's a very beneficial app. I'm very, very happy that they have it and that people can use it when they're in the parks. Yes, so Kitty Kathy, you like midday breaks too. And yeah, taking a shower and changing. Yeah, we'll get into the next tip we're going to talk about is weather. But yeah, going back for a nice shower or just a refresher is very nice for sure. Let's see. Jules, welcome. Thank you for being here. Is it actually true that Walt Disney World is removing Pirates for Splash? Someone told me this and I was sad. So they're not removing Pirates of the Caribbean, but they did remove Splash Mountain in Magic Kingdom, and that is becoming Tiana's Bayou Adventure. So that is already in the works, and it is opening next year in 2024. Yes, definitely can make a difference having some fresh clothes on and after a day in the heat for sure. Let's see. And Doofs. Let me see here. Big news announced. Annual pass holder no reservation after 2 p.m. has officially been given a start date or time frame after spring break. That's perfect. Okay, so if we have any pass holders that are in here, that's awesome. I didn't see that news yet, so that's perfect. And let's see. Didn't eat at the parks much, only about twice, but the food I did have there was 10 out of 10. Mostly ate food at the Village, but highly recommend the food. That's awesome. Yeah, I have started to eat at the parks a little bit more. I usually would bring some snacks with me to the parks, but they do have a lot of good dining, restaurants and also mobile ordering kind of quick service food. I do have some videos here on the channel of some food reviews and some restaurants that I've eaten at if you want to check those out. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of good places that you can eat at, or you can eat off property or bring your own snacks is what I like as well. Okay, Danny, you're going for vacation? That's awesome. Decided 2 weeks ago, so a bit spontaneous, no problem though. Going with 18 members of family and friends. That's amazing. So you guys have a good big group going. That is so perfect. I'm excited about that. Let us know if you have any questions in here. Of course, we've got a lot of helpful, viewers here in the chat, but also some mods that would be happy to help as well. Let us know if you have any questions, and I hope you have a blast. That's awesome. Yes, this is, I think this is Bob, the popcorn bucket. We got it from Universal. He's adorable. He's actually my little sister's, but yeah, so he's up there whenever we can use him at Universal. So I love him. He brings me joy. Yes, no, I love Pirates too, but yeah, don't worry about Pirates. I don't think it's not going anywhere, which is good. So, oh, yeah, Doofs. Okay, so totally recommend monorail hopping to Captain Cook's at the Poly for lunch. So yummy. So if you're at Magic Kingdom or even Epcot for that matter, anywhere that has access to the Epcot, or to the monorail, you could go ahead and hop to the Polynesian Resort, is what the Doofs are saying, and eating at their little quick service restaurant type thing, which is called Captain Cook's. I've been there before, and been with people that have eaten there. I have not personally had anything, but it does look like they have very good food. And at the you could also go to the Grand Floridian or the Contemporary Resort to get some food around there as well. But that's a good tip, Deuce. Thank you for sharing that. So that is definitely an idea. And that could help with kind of getting away from the crowds too. You could kind of take a break just from the parks in general, go and maybe eat somewhere that isn't as crowded, and then head back to the parks and finish up your day. Oh, the meatballs are to die for. Okay, that is good to know. That's perfect. Okay, we'll get on to our third tip. So the third tip we've kind of talked about a little bit here, but the thing I want to tell you about is to prepare for the weather. So I think it's been kind of hit or miss down in Florida right now. I was just talking to a friend today. She said it was cold. It was like in the 50s. But you never know what the weather's going to be like. I always recommend looking about a week before to see what the weather is going to look like and kind of plan your clothes around that. Another thing is, it might be chilly today, but it could be very warm tomorrow. And there could be rain as well. It has been rainy down in Florida recently also. So if you have rain gear that you can bring with you during your visit down to Disney World, highly recommend having that on hand. So that way you don't have to waste money and time going in and buying ponchos, umbrellas, raincoats, whatever you may need in the stores at Disney World. I think ponchos at Disney World are about $12 when you can purchase a bunch or just one at the dollar store for way less than that. And you can go on Amazon. There's ponchos on Amazon. So bring those before you get to Disney World. Bring them on your visit. Have them on hand because you never know when a rain shower may pop up. But also, if it is warm throughout the day, make sure that you're staying hydrated. There is nothing worse than getting dehydrated and just drained at Disney World. The heat can definitely get to you. So make sure you're staying hydrated. A thing that I like to do is go and get water from all of the quick service restaurants that are in the Disney parks. I absolutely love this. After I get off a ride, whatever the closest restaurant is to me, I just go and ask for a cup of ice water and they will give you free ice water. Another thing is you can actually go to Starbucks as well and go like you're typically ordering a drink at Starbucks, and they have free water there as well. And they come in a nice, cute little Disney cup, which is really fun. So this can help you save some money too, because bottles of water at Disney World are about $5 and up at some places. So if you're wanting to save some money there, and I know some people do not like the water at Disney World. I might have some people in here that are saying they don't like the water. If you're able to either, bring some flavor packets that can kind of disguise the taste. I personally don't have a problem with the Disney water. I guess I'm kind of used to it. But I know a lot of people don't like it. If you want to save some money in that aspect, you can maybe bring some flavor packets, or of course they do have water that you can purchase in the parks as well. So ultimately, prepare for the weather. Make sure you're looking before your visit, see what the weather's going to look like. We'll talk about preparing clothing in the next tip, but make sure that your clothing is ready for whatever the weather is looking like, and bring some rain gear in case it decides to rain, because you don't want to get stuck in the rain and have wet clothes, maybe a wet stroller. Make sure that you're prepared in that aspect for sure. Okay, Deuce. All right. Yeah. What was the weather like for you guys? Hit or miss? When you were there, it was 80s all weekend and not a cloud in the sky. So that's perfect. You guys had great weather then. Yeah. I was talking to Janelle today and she was saying it was like 56 or something when I was talking to her. I was like, that is crazy. Let's see, Kitty Cathy. Any change in park hopping where Disney changes for all days, even if, let's see. Even if you only want it on your last day. I'm not sure, Kitty Cathy. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to look into that. I'll take note of your comment there. I might have to look into that and then get back to you on that comment. Yeah, buy ponchos for cheap for sure. And then, yeah, chuck them without losing any money. And oh yeah, then no mildew for sure. Yeah. I just have the little cheap ones from the dollar store, honestly, and they don't take up much room as well. So if you're flying to Disney World or driving, you can just throw them in your suitcase or your park bag, and you can just have it on hand for just in case purposes. Let's see. Okay, so we'll get to our fourth thing here. So, like I was saying, we're going to talk about wearing proper shoes and clothing. So, whenever going to the park and you're planning out your park day outfits or what you want to wear during spring break, make sure it is in line with whatever the weather is looking like. If it's going to be chilly, maybe bring a little jacket with you just to have on hand in case it gets chilly. So that way you don't have to go into the stores and purchase a jacket. That could be very expensive purchase. But another thing is if it's going to be very warm, wear lightweight, breathable clothing. You don't want to get overheated whenever you're in the parks, and also wear clothing that you know is comfortable and that you know won't have any irritation or won't make you too warm whenever you're in the parks. I always like to make sure that I've worn my clothes beforehand and that it's all functional and will help me to, get through my day at the Disney parks. And shoes, of course, too. I always talk about shoes here whenever it comes to going to Disney World. Make sure you're wearing comfortable shoes. No, like, flimsy flip flops or high heels or anything that's not very practical. Tennis shoes are great. I love the Croc wedges. I always talk about them. Those are one of my go to park shoes. Tennis shoes, like I said, there's a bunch of different types of tennis shoes that have been great. I can share my shoe video here as well, but make sure that you have shoes that are broken in, are comfortable, and maybe a bonus is having waterproof shoes because if it does rain, it's nice to have some waterproof shoes so that way either your shoes can dry very easily or they're waterproof and you don't have to worry about having wet feet throughout the whole day because that is not enjoyable. So, ultimately, look at the weather and then also plan your clothes around it so that way you can be comfortable throughout your day and you can have a great day at Disney World. Um, all right, let's see. So Doofs, were you helping Kitty Kathy with I don't know, maybe I misinterpreted what she was saying. Buy tickets for all days except the last day, then buy a separate ticket with Park Hopper. Let's see. And buy with your resort reservation, just buy separately. We've done the math. Oh, okay, there's no savings by purchasing. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, get around the park hopping change. So maybe I am missing something about the park hopper tickets. Maybe there's something with park hopper tickets that I'm missing, but Doofs, thank you for helping Kitty Kathy with that. I appreciate that. But we are going to get on to our last tip here. And if you have any other tips or questions about going to Disney World, feel free to throw them in the chat here and we can talk about them afterwards. But the last thing I want to talk about is just ultimately planning out your park day before going to the parks whenever at Disney World for spring break. As we mentioned earlier, it's going to be busier, there's going to be crowds, but that doesn't mean you can't have a great time whenever you're on your vacation. Like I said before, if you have access to the early entry, take advantage of it. I know it can be hard getting up very early in the morning to go to Disney World, but get there early and get some rides in and then go back maybe for a midday nap, a midday refresher, and then come back and finish out the rest of the day. I always say too, whenever going to the parks, come up with your top 3 or 5 rides that you absolutely want to do, and then plan the day around those rides. If there's shows you want to see, some parades, definitely go and take advantage of those. There are some less popular rides at Disney World that, even during popular times like the holidays and spring break, that still don't have a very long wait time. So you could go and check out those in between maybe some longer times that you are going to go wait in some of the lines. There's lots of shows at Disney World as well that have certain times that you go see them, that you might not have to wait in long lines for. You can go and get a nice AC break, kind of get off your feet, take a little refresher with your family. That's also another nice thing to do. And of course, take a meal break in between your days are really great as well. So I always, like I said, recommend going into your days, having a plan, kind of an outline, a game plan for what you want to do. So that way you can kind of hit the ground running and make the most of your time ultimately whenever you're in the park. That's always what I like to do, regardless of going during peak seasons or just regular times at Disney World. I always like having kind of an outline of my day, what I want to get done. And then I know that the day will go well and then I could get everything that I want done, and whatever else happens is kind of a bonus. So hopefully those tips were helpful for you guys. If you're going during spring break, have a blast. Let me know if you have any questions at all. I'd be happy to help. And enjoy the weather down there and all of the things that Disney has to offer. You will still have a great time, and I'm excited for some of you guys to go if you're going to Disney World. Let's see. Okay. So Danny, it's supposed to rain on Monday and Wednesday of next week. Does it usually rain all day or just part of the day? So I would say during spring break here, you might see some showers on and off. Take a look at the weather app for sure to see what the weather's going to look like, but also make sure you have your rain gear on hand and your clothing, make sure that it is either breathable or waterproof. Another thing that I like to say too is if you look at the forecast going into your day, if you see that rain is going to be happening at any point in the day, maybe try to do some outdoor attractions before it starts raining, because when it does rain, if there's thunder or lightning or anything in the area, or if the rain is too intense, the outdoor attractions will close down, and then the indoor attractions get very busy. But try to see if you can do some outdoor attractions first and then go ahead and do some of the indoor ones maybe whenever it's nicer or warmer in the day. So, but as far as the rain goes, yeah, it can be kind of hit or miss. It can go, it can be either, or it could be kind of scattered showers throughout the day. But I will say too, it is nice sometimes whenever it does rain in the parks, because a lot of people either aren't prepared for the rain or just don't want to stick it out whenever it's raining. And a lot of people end up going back to their hotels. So that can be a perfect time for you to go and get a lot of rides in general. So if you come prepared with your rain gear, you can definitely use that to your advantage, because a lot of people might be leaving. They might not want to be in the rain. So you can go ahead and take advantage of the park. Let's see. Oh, Kitty Cathy. Was thinking about wearing waterproof sneakers to get the best of both worlds, but would that be too hot to wear in the Florida heat? That's a good question. So I do have the Croc tennis shoes, which are completely waterproof. They're like rubber or whatever the material is. And I've worn them before and I haven't had a problem with them. I will say too, if you can bring extra socks throughout the day, that has been nice to kind of change in and out if your feet get wet or sweaty or whatever might happen. I found that it's helpful to kind of have a change of socks to change throughout the day, whether you have them with you or when you go back to your hotel to change out. I found that that is very helpful. So maybe just use the change in socks. I personally haven't had an issue. Let me know, anybody, if you've had an issue. There is a brand of shoes that are waterproof. I'll have to ask a friend. She tried them at Disney World. They're called like Zenny. They might be a Z brand. I can't remember. I'll have to make a video on them. But she really enjoyed those waterproof shoes, and also bring Band-Aids in case you get blisters or anything for any reason. But as far as your question goes, I haven't had an issue with them, and they are super handy because if your feet get wet, just change your socks and then your shoes are still good to go. Let's see. Also, yes, stock the times on My Disney Experience and hit the heaviest rides early or late for sure. Yes, good point, Deuce. Then ride the rest during the rest of the day for sure. Yep, highly recommend that before your visit. Take a look at what the wait times are looking like and kind of go from there as far as the rides go at Disney World. Yeah, okay, Deuce. So you were saying too, rainy days are the best for rides. If it rains all day, the park is usually much less crowded, means low wait times, and just carry a poncho and umbrella for sure. Yep. I love that. And that's why I like using my Croc wedges, because even if I step in a puddle or if it rains and I have wet feet, it doesn't matter because I just have the Croc wedges on. So definitely playing around that has been nice. Oh, I didn't know Sam's has good water sneaker shoes. Okay, I'm gonna have to look at those. Let's see here, Jillian. Welcome. How are you doing? Thank you for being here. Any news on if Disney World will be offering earlier hopper entry into the parks like they do in DCA? That's a good point. Or a good question. I don't know that I've heard anything personally about it. I think it is just still the 2 p.m. time period, but Doofs or anybody else, if you've heard anything, let me know what your thoughts are on that. I haven't personally heard anything, but that would be interesting if they would let us in to park hop much earlier. Oh, but they drain and don't retain water. Gotcha. I'll have to take a look at those, Doofs. Thank you. All right, guys. Well, thank you. I guess I should have put our final thoughts and next steps on. But thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. Everybody that is going to Disney World for spring break, have a blast. Thank you for watching tonight. And of course, if you're watching here on the replay or here on the live stream, if you have any questions or comments at all, feel free to put them down in the comment section below. I'd love to help out with any questions that you have when planning your trips or just as far as Disney World questions go. Would love to help out with that. And if you are new here, feel free to subscribe and tune in next week. We do these live streams every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, usually talking about some type of Disney topic, whether it's Disney news or just some Disney tips like here tonight going during spring break. We love helping you with your Disney adventures. So we'd love to have you in a future stream and to hang out and help you on your future adventures. So thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. Really appreciated having you guys here. Nice to meet you, Jillian and Danny. Thank you for being here, guys. But of course, Kitty, Kathy, and Doofs, and everyone else, thank you guys for tuning in as well. Thanks for spending part of your evening with us. I hope you guys have a great week. And with that, we will chat with you guys later. Thanks, guys. We'll see you in another stream. Bye, guys.